This Let's Play was supported by these awesome hobby companies.
Hello folks, today we're going to be taking a look at Deadflight, Ghosts in the Void. This is a game from Dragonstone Treasures that's currently on Kickstarter. They've sent us through a preview.
Time of filming.
Yeah, they've sent us through a preview copy. So, this is a strategic hex-based ship-to-ship combat game, which is a little bit wacky. I'm a fan of it.
I like it, because I mean, like, the dashboards we're seeing up here, they're not just dashboards, those are our capital class ships that everything's launching out of.
Essentially, we all have a flight carrier, and the flight carrier uses these massive dashboards, and then when you're building your ship for a mission, you have 8 independent modules that can be varied. You've got a hangar bay that can be increased in size, and the fleet that you carry can be adapted to the mission you're playing. You also have a captain that is variable, and then 4 upgrade cards, again, which can be changed. So you have a lot going on your fleet carrier, and these things are massive. They're a monumental ship that is so large it can't actually be portrayed on the tabletop, which makes sense. These are.
Although I am kind of expecting someone to go nuts with the 3D printer.
Well,
you know, like a dashboard with like a hull siding down the front.
Well, they can if they want.
If you're out there, do it.
It's one of those things. So the game then is divided up between the command phase of your main fleet carrier and then broad space, which is fleet carrier to fleet carrier engagement, or near space, and near space is anything in this actual hex map that the mission is dependent upon. So, for example, today we are aiming to play a training mission, and we've got 3 different near space debris
objects,
that need to be dealt with.
So you know, it might be, you know, International Space Station, it might be an asteroid, or it might be the car that Elon Musk launched into space.
Well, it's possible that it's those things. This is 1,000+ years in the future from Earth, and it's also hard sci-fi, so it's unlikely to be those. I'm playing the TPN, the Terrestrial Planetary Navy, who are the old dogs in the yard, so to speak. They are Earth, Mars, Mercury, Venus, the initial cluster of colonized humanity.
Okay.
You've got the GGC, the gas giant conglomerate, who went, essentially they're Coke.
They're the Jovians then.
They're Coke, and they went, we're going to set up our stuff on these planets, we're going to harvest it. We're a corporation, we're not a nation, which is great. They have some lovely tech.
Yeah.
Their tech is very expensive in comparison. I've got a bigger navy, it's slower, it's worse, but it's bigger and cheaper. You've got a more, you know...
So you're technically Russia.
Yeah, except Russia failed.
In space.
Yeah, so it's just the Planetary Alliance. TPA for the win.
Okay.
Also, because we're playing just a training mission, there are a few things that are a little bit different here.
So on my board you can see I haven't used up all my module slots. I've only used the first 4.
So the way the game works is you put your 8 modules in dependent for your mission in question. In this case, we're only using half of them. This is important for the command and control, because in the game you have a XO, you have a lieutenant, and then you also have your captain, and your captain can issue 2 orders. Your XO can issue an order to the module he's assigned to, and the lieutenant can issue an order to the module he's assigned to. So in a full game, only half of your modules will ever be active at one time, assuming everybody rolls correctly and actually activates.
Yeah, but for this training mission, you've got half of them, so you're not overloaded.
You're not overloaded, but also you have the potential to always activate all 4 of your modules. So if you have an engineering deck, you can potentially always use it. Part and parcel of the game is the breakdown of how it plays out. You issue orders, then your opponent issues orders, then you actually do the fleet carrier combats, and then you do any near space combats afterwards, which means if you think you're going to get hit from near space or from broadside, you need to make that call in your command phase. Your commander needs to go, brace for impact now, because I think we're going to get hit by torpedoes. Otherwise, you're going to be running a turn behind because you take the damage, and then the next turn you're having to waste an order. So you're at that point, as they always say, it's always better to act than react. So if you're acting and you go, I think he's going to hit me this turn and damage me, therefore I'm going to brace, I'm going to take some damage off.
Yeah.
Great. If that doesn't happen and you don't brace for impact and you take the damage, the next turn you're going, I'm at disadvantage. And then you're constantly behind your opponent. And with these big carriers, if you take 7 points of damage, they will test to break off, because these things are
so expensive.
Massively expensive. They're like nations worth of debt put into them and years worth of design, which is why they're made so modularly. Anyway, looking at my fleet,
yes,
I have a primary hangar bay, which allows me to launch several of my craft. I have some ranged batteries, which is good for doing broadside attacks against your opponent, or you can fire near side against the little moving things. It's very tricky to hit things when they're out here. Trying to hit an interceptor or a bomber is sixes normally, because you're trying to fire large gun-mounted batteries at things that are kilometers away.
Well, if you think about it like aerial combat, you have to put enough lead on it. You have to be able to calculate the lead so that by the time the shell intercepts where you think it's going to be, it's when it's going to hit. And
you don't have things like friction in space as well, so it's more fun when people start to turn, because
or
don't have those
start
things.
Using like vector movement where they just jink off to the side.
Yep. I also have an ordnance bay, which allows me to fire torpedoes. So breaching torpedoes, that's interesting. I have a barracks, which has given me, on top of my 10 crew, which I've noticed I've only got less than 10 there. Well, that's better. 10 crew. You also get vac troopers. Now, crew, these things are massively automated, so there aren't a huge amount of crew on board. But the crew that are there can be used for different things. They can be used to go onto transports, they can be used to recover stuff from space, or they can be used to board your opponent. Vac troopers are specifically trained, essentially Marines. They're trained in zero-G combat, and they're much better than your standard crew who grumble when they're asked by the captain to get on board a transport and go and land on another ship. So it's one of those things. As far as my fleet goes, I have a transport. So I've got the Olympus troop transport. I have 3 Cerberus fighters, which are dogged. They've got good amount of hull on them. They're not particularly fast. I have 1 Arrow interceptor, which is very fast and comes with a rail gun and can do quite a bit of damage. And because when you're building your fleet, you also have to buy a captain, and you can buy a 0-point captain who's just somebody who's been admitted essentially to the captain's role, previous XO. They've got a lot to prove, but they do nothing special, but they're cheap, they're free.
Yeah, and you get your 2 orders for them.
You get 2 orders. But you can upgrade them, and you can upgrade them through veteran or reckless or named characters and all sorts. I've just taken a prudent captain who's ever wary of the dangers of lurking in the void. He would rather be prepared than found wanting, and he can launch 2 single hex spacecraft during the deployment phase. So he's cheap for 10 points, but I get to fire out 2 fighters before the game starts, essentially,
so you
to
can,
counter.
You can start laying a little pressure down.
We also have 4 upgrades, of which we're allowed 1 for this training mission. In this case, I've taken a targeting suite for all 3 of my Cerberus fighters, which upgrades their targeting from 4+ to 5+, or sorry, from 4+ to 3+ to hit.
That wouldn't be an upgrade.
No, wouldn't be an upgrade. Bigger numbers, not better. So they're better in combat. They're better at hitting things, allegedly. Time will tell.
Yeah.
What have you got?
Well, from my side of things, I've laid out my modular ship a little differently to yours. So I've started with my barracks, which is, of course, getting my troops up and running, doing what they're doing. I've got my primary hangar bay, so I can start launching everybody.
Yeah.
I grabbed an ordnance bay because of who I chose for my captain, because he loves him some torpedoes. And I picked up engineering because I do expect to take damage. And if I need to repair it, I'd rather be able to chuck into this, because what I can do with this is I can get extra repair rolls, I can get re-rolls on my repair rolls, and I can get like double successful repair rolls. Yeah. Which is really, really good.
Also, I think engineering allows you to succeed on a 4 rather than a 5.
Well, the way it reads is, so if I put the CO in there, for each order token assigned to engineering, attempt a single repair action of a 4+.
Yes, because without the engineering bay, it's a 5+ is standard.
Yeah.
So I can still attempt to repair stuff without an engineering bay.
But you're not as
But
good.
I'm doing it on 5s.
Yeah.
So there's not a dedicated section to somebody welding things for me.
Yeah.
Shame.
Well, you've got to have a Scotty.
Well, that's what they tell me.
Yeah.
So who is your Capitan then?
Mon Capitan is Executive Maxwell. So I've went for a named character. He's costing me 30 points. He is the finest mind in ordnance warfare ever to travel the solar system. So ordnance warfare, that is going to be launching these torpedoes.
Delightful.
Me likey torpedoes. So basically, you may launch 2 torpedoes during your deployment phase. Must take an ordnance bay. So obviously, I have the ordnance bay, but I've kind of doubled down on this because my upgrade, I went for Hellfire torpedoes.
Right.
So they're pretty much the exact same stat line as my regular torpedoes, but they have a special rule called Inferno. And what that's going to do is, if I hit you, if I land a torpedo on you and I get a crit, I'm going to set your crew on fire and start killing your crew. So basically hitting the gas lines. Just
That's not great, but I can live with that.
I'm sure that the
Most of
Navy
it's
convention is
mechanised.
probably outdated by now.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't worry about that at all. Well, it's funny you say that. There is no Geneva Convention. The fact this is Deadflight is the nickname that captains and crews give to ships that have turned off their transporters or transponders. They're running dark in the night and they're doing things that are clandestine or illegal. So
Doesn't apply.
there is a peace between the GGC and the TPA, but in this case, all bets are off, and if you die, you die, and nobody will come looking for your body or even admit you were out there.
Let's see. All right, well, for what I've built for my near space fleet, so I've taken 2 of my Dragon fighters.
Okay.
I've got 2 of my Triton personnel carriers because I'm thinking if we're going after these objectives in the middle, they're the ones that are going to do the work for me. And then I've taken 1 of my Nemesis MRCV bombers.
Okay.
So I've got some punching power. I've got the torpedoes to really start hurting your capital ship. I think this will be interesting.
Could be. We're both playing the same mission.
Yes.
Normally when you're playing this game, what you do is you draw 2 missions at random, and you would pick what mission you want to do out of the 2 you pick, and then you would build a fleet specifically for that. So you would build your carrier. So if it was a recovery mission, you might want to go ahead and pull in a lot of additional crew, pull in extra hangar bays, get more transports on the go.
Yeah.
You tailor your fleet and your fleet carrier, which are designed to be modular, to actually complete the mission you're doing. Then once you've done that and your opponent's done it, you then see who has spent the least in your actual fleet, and the lower one is actually doing the mission. So you might build a fleet for a specific mission. I build mine for my mission, and then it turns out that you're actually not doing your mission. I'm doing mine, I'm executing the mission, and then you're disrupting it. So you're just trying to stop me. Normally these are kept hidden so your opponent doesn't know what's happening. However, for the training mission, we're just going to keep them revealed. There are essentially 4 things we need to do. Launch 4 near space craft. So
these little guys in our hangar bay.
Anybody lurking down there. Complete a recover 3 objective. So you go into the near space, and then you need 3 successes on trying to get whatever it is. Recovery is interesting. Sometimes you can scan, in which case you just get up, scan, leave. With recover, you get up, recover the item, get your 3 successes, and then need to get back and dock on your ship again. So just because you pick something up, you might not get it. Could be shot out of the sky before then.
Yeah.
Cause 4 points of damage to the enemy fleet carrier, and complete a repair special order. So those are the objectives we both have. There are no secondary objectives for this, and there are construction limitations, which obviously we've been through with the modules and the upgrades.
Yes.
That, I think, brings us to our first turn. Like I say, normally whoever is the cheapest would have to be executing the mission. In this case, we're both actually on 95 points, despite the fact you've got more ships. You've also got you've got bigger ships, not more necessarily, but you've got a bigger captain. I've picked more upgrades and smaller craft.
Yeah.
So we've actually both ended up at 95 points. So it's actually going to be a roll-off to see who has priority for their issuing orders.
Well, let's kick off for turn 1.
Yes.
Yep. Hey, 6.
Start as you mean to go on.
Yeah, problem is I've wasted that early. That could have been a crit.
Could have been.
So, first section of the turn, orders, yeah?
Orders, yep. So you've got a XO and a lieutenant who need to be assigned. I suppose we'd need to do this in deployment anyway, because there are certain things for deployment.
Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my lieutenant into my ordnance bay, because when your lieutenant's in there, it automatically reloads during the rally phase, which is a really nice thing to have.
Handy.
And I will put my XO into my hangar bay.
Okie dokie. I will actually do something similar. I'm going to go ahead and put my XO into my ranged battery for my macro cannons, because he gives me 3 rerolls and I roll 3 dice anyway. So that's always good. And I will likewise send the lieutenant to the ordnance bay. It's time he learns his place, I suppose. Before we get into issuing orders, actually, you have torpedoes to deploy.
Yes, so I may launch 2 torpedoes during my deployment phase. Now, this is something that has me a little confused.
Yes.
I don't know if that forces these to be unloaded or if it's just a bonus that I just get to pop them out there.
No, just a bonus.
All right. Well, I will pop them out as both Hellfires.
Okie dokie.
And now, here's an interesting thing. So you launch your torpedoes from these red dots.
Yes.
But all of the debris is in the way. Will I just scoot right past that?
Yes.
Okay. Where do I want to go? I'll go here, and I'll go here. So when torpedoes launch, it's 2d6 to see how far they're going to go as they exit the capital ship.
Yes,
yeah?
as they're fired out.
So for this one, he is going 9.
9.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay.
Fairly brutal.
For number 2, he is going 8.
8.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Boof. So, bit of threat directly.
Statement of intent.
Yes. And
before you do anything else clever, then I will also launch 2 fighters. Because I can.
Yes.
For my prudent captain. Interesting thing is, potentially these will go off before I get a chance, depending on what you roll.
Yeah.
So they may just be a case of, in fact, they will both.
Accept the pain?
I will accept the pain, but I will get 2 ships in the sky early, which means then I've already halfway towards objective 1, whereas potentially you're halfway towards objective 2 anyway, with the causing damage to me. So
yeah, this is kind of why I put my XO into the primary hangar, because he'll let me deploy the full 4 in one run.
Yeah. I couldn't be bothered. He doesn't need to.
All right, so what's next?
This is issue orders then. So what orders do you want your captain to do? So he can do 2 standard orders, so the 2 other modules he could issue orders to, or he can issue 1 special order and 1 standard order.
Yeah, now the special orders are a little deck that you build pre-game as well. So you've got a little selection, and
you can put up to 10 in that deck, and I think the version we have comes with, I want to say 13 or 14 cards, so you have a bit of latitude in there as to what goes in. Again, you build that dependent on your mission.
Well, I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put an embark down. And then for my second, I'm just going to pop him into engineering.
Okay.
Just in case.
Getting ready for the pain later.
Yeah, well, it means that there's an order in there, and it means that I get to make the repair action, even though it's not the special order repair.
Yes.
Which I think is pretty useful.
It is. So that's your captain. You then have to issue the orders to the XO and lieutenant. XO will pass an order on a 2+. If needs be.
So XO for 2+, he gets a 5.
So
and LT,
he requires a 4-up.
Gets a 6.
That's fine.
So they are both in there and both working.
So everybody's order, even though you issue the orders now, they may not take effect yet. So that's all your orders issued.
Yeah. Now, actually, I've goofed a little. Because my lieutenant's in here, all he's going to do is reload. So what I would be better doing is putting the captain into the ordnance bay, if that's okay with you. Because then I can order a launch.
You can do, certainly.
That'll do.
No, you've already launched the broadside. Oh, I see what you mean, yes.
Yeah.
The lieutenant is automatically reload ordnance during the rally phase, so yes.
Yeah, so I would need to fire it in order for him to be doing anything useful.
So, I will decide what. Dun, 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 dun. I'm actually going to brace for impact. Brace for my captain.
Yep.
Which will negate D3 incoming damage this turn. It's one use only. Some of these cards, special orders, can be shuffled back into the deck. Essentially, they're always available unless they specifically say they're not. But I will send Captain. We'll send a message to the primary hangar bay to launch 2 craft, which will give me my 4 anyway. My EXO will attempt to get the batteries on the go. Range batteries say yes. So in the broad space battle sphere, big words, I will be able to do ship-to-ship combat with my main macro batteries. And then my LT, he's okay this turn. Doesn't need to do anything. He can just sit there. He can just truck on. So, orders issued. It's into the broad space battle sphere.
See.
So this is fleet carrier to fleet carrier combat. What, if anything, do you have to do? So have you launched any craft?
Not yet.
Okay.
But I'm able to launch 4 craft and I'm fit to fire torpedoes.
Yes. So that is done now then. So you would launch your craft, and your craft can be launched from anywhere within the blue hexes, the light blue hexes rather.
I think I'll start with my 3rd torpedo.
Okay.
So that'll launch. I'll turn this to the side to tell me I need to reload it.
Okie dokie.
And then it's going to go 2d6. Yep. Hey, 11.
11.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I am in your deployment area.
That's all right.
I think that's a boom.
Probably is.
Yeah. So for that, it's got a volume of 4. So the way combat works in this game is you have your volume that tells you how many dice to roll. You then have your impact, which is a multiplier for your successes to try and beat your opponent's armor. So what's the armor of a capital ship?
10.
Right. This is impact 20.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this may hurt. Oop. Well, there's a couple of crits and 2 4s in there, and I think that's going to be good.
Yes.
Because, let's see, targeting value is 3+, and I'm not seeing a crit mark on here.
So all 4 of them hit. So the way it works is you take your hits first, and then you would multiply them by the impact.
So 80.
So 80. Does that beat my armor of 10? Yes. You do 1 point of damage.
Okay.
Spadam. Then any crits will come into play. So a torpedo has a crit of 1.
Okay, so I've definitely got my crit.
So you've got your crit, which will cause 1 point of additional damage. You never go more than that. You never go madly beyond it. The best you can really sort of do is 2
per attack.
But you always have the potential, despite your opponent's armor, to use a critical to get through, because it will always do 1 point of damage. So even if you hadn't done enough damage with the torpedoes,
the multiplier,
you would still get through and do a chunk of damage on that.
That was Hellfire torpedoes as well.
Yes.
So Inferno kicks in.
Okie dokie.
Which means you're going to lose 3 crew.
D3 crew.
D3 crew, apologies. So you can lose 3 crew.
3 crew. Well, that's
like I told you.
That's okay. I don't need them for anything. Now,
Now, does it switch back to you, or do I do the rest of my stuff here?
No, you do your entire broadside first.
Okay.
What I will do is I will roll my D3 to see how much my brace for impact negates this turn.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ignore 2 points of
So
damage.
you didn't do anything on
So-
that. Whoop, whoop.
Like Star Trek, we all hold on and shake back and forward.
Don't rock the table.
That's how it works. I've seen Star Trek.
Okay, so the next thing I have to do is I have to launch 4 spacecraft.
Okay.
Now, before that, I have an order down to tell stuff to embark.
Yes.
So am I able to do that now and embark stuff onto my transports before I launch them?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to embark some guys onto my transports. So I'm going to take my VAC troopers and put them into transport 1, and I'm then going to take 6 of my crew and put them into transport 2.
Okie dokie.
And from there, I can take my 2 transports and I can begin to launch them. So the first one, he's looking here at this little rock, which looks kind of nice. This one's looking at this little rock that looks kind of nice. And then I'll give each of them an escort fighter.
Okie dokie.
And I'll put the escort fighter, yeah, like that.
Okay. And while you're doing this, these aren't going to go yet. In the near space phase, when the actual fighters activate, they will move again. So potentially I'm going to take another 2 rounds of torpedoing.
Yeah, I might get 4 damage in.
Yeah.
If I get lucky with crits.
Yeah, you might get more than that, actually. You never know. Who
Well, we'll
knows?
see.
Who knows?
At least I murdered some crew.
You did murder some crew, but c'est la vie. They all knew, well, they didn't know actually, they were drafted. They went to bed one night and woke up on board a ship a million miles away from home.
Well, did they drink the Space Queen's shilling?
That type of thing. So, nothing else left for you for...
Well,
broadside?
I've done my launching, I've done my ordnance, I believe that's me.
Okie dokie. So, I will go for mine. Got my primary hangar bay, I can launch 2 more. And our survey says, I'm actually going to launch 2 of my, I say fighters. One's a fighter and one's an interceptor. This little interceptor is very quick with a big gun, but very directional.
So you kind of have to be nose on.
Yeah, although getting into that position is not difficult to do. We'll go with these and those.
Let's see.
That's done. My EXO can fire his ranged batteries. I get 3 dice, but because I have an EXO in there, I can re-roll 3 of those dice that fail to hit.
Oh, that's nice.
It's kind of good. So the only call now is, do I fire all 3 of them at your fleet carrier and hit on 5s? Or do I attempt to pick some of your stuff out of the space and hit on 6s? Theoretically, I should get 1 hit anyway.
You should get 1/6, yeah.
Although, as we know, maths doesn't work in gaming.
Now, important thing,
Yes,
hull integrity on the transports is 5.
won't make a difference if I hit.
Really?
I've got an impact of 8, so a hit will breach the hull on everything.
Ah, okay. But it will still take 1 damage.
It will take 1 damage, yeah.
Okay.
So, you know what? I think I'm going to chunk some into your... Part of the mission is to do damage to your fleet carrier, so I will throw into your fleet carrier.
Fire away. Oof.
So that'll be no, no, and no.
Yeah, but your rerolls.
My rerolls say
Yes.
1 hit,
And yes.
2 hits.
So at 8 times 2, that's 16. So I will take 8 point of damage.
You will. You won't take an additional because I need 2 successes or 2 crits to deal. So the way the crits work is it's normally on 6s, but the weapon you're firing will tell you how many 6s you need for a critical hit. So you might find something like some of my fighters roll 6 dice, but require 4 6s to actually do a crit on somebody.
Didn't you have one of them that crits on a 5 as well?
I do. I have the little arrow interceptor has got a rail gun, so it crits on a 5. It just goes through things
I'm going to keep an eye on that little
very quickly. So, that's not bad. Done a point of damage to you. We're even Stevens.
Yeah. Are you going to return the favour with a torpedo salvo of your own?
No, I don't think I will.
Oh yeah, because you've only got the lieutenant in there.
Yeah.
See?
I was more worried about the damage incoming than anything else. So that's the end of my broadside. We now go to the near space combat.
So we're zooming in.
Yeah, in this case, near space isn't back and forth like we were before, where you're going first. It's actually a dice roll, and then it's individual spaceships activate.
And somehow I have one of your dice.
That's because it leapt out. It was a miss anyway.
So I get a 1, you get a 4.
Ooh, so I actually have the priority for the near space combat. So I will activate somebody first and see what I can do. I feel the urge to hurt you. We have engine ratings. So an engine rating tells you how many hexes you can move or turns you can make or combination thereof. Cerberus has an engine of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 turn. I could just stay there. You can move all or none at all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Turning costs 1 as well.
Turning costs 1 as well.
Yeah. Now, one thing that everybody might like to know, so the little ships are able to just turn on a dime, but the bigger ships here,
Yes.
they have to turn from the front hex.
Yes.
So whenever you're turning them, you're doing that so that you're not stealing any sort of extra movement off of it.
Yeah. They pivot on the front. Bum swings out and then they fly in. So you are 4 hexes away.
I am.
But thankfully the Cerberus fighters have actually got cluster missiles.
Oh dear.
So we have a range 4, volume 4, impact 4 cluster missile. Nice.
Lovely.
Oh, if only I had homing, I could re-roll. I don't. But I do get 4 dice, and normally I would hit on 4s, but because I decided every fighter was an ace fighter, I hit on 3s, which I require based on previous experience with my dice.
Based on current experience with your dice.
I got 2 hits.
Yeah. So what is your...
My volume is 4. My impact rather is 4. So that's 8. What is the armor for your transport?
You were firing the transport? 8.
8. Delightful.
Enough to do one?
That's enough to do a point of damage.
All right, so I'm now down to a hull integrity of 4.
That's all right.
So I'll pop a little red cube on the back here to keep track of it.
It will do me.
Right.
It will do me lovely. So on to you then.
Yeah. Honestly, I think I'm just going to let my torpedoes roll through.
Well, yes, they'll do that anyway. Possibly should have done that just at the top of the round, but it doesn't matter.
All right, they do it out of sequence. They're just running.
Yeah, I believe they are just running, and torpedoes just plough on in. I will check for you while you roll because it's a D6 plus 4 hexes.
Yeah. So for the first one,
both will hit.
Is going 2.
Yeah.
And the second one is going 1, so it actually won't hit.
No, it will because you're plus 4.
Oh yeah, plus 4.
So 5 would be enough to get.
All right. So both of those are in.
Yeah.
And I now have to roll 4 dice twice and see what I get. Yep. Well, there's a crit. So take 2 damage and lose D3 crew.
Okie dokie.
2 crew.
2 crew.
And on the second, that's a crit.
Okie dokie.
And lose D3 crew. Just the 1.
Just 1, dear.
But that's 4 points damage and 3 crew dead.
Yes, that's all right.
So that is one of our mission parameters.
4 points. Yes. 1 down, 3 to go.
Yes. All right, so because those would just run on their own, I assume it's still my activation for a ship?
Yes.
Okay. Honestly, I'm going to take my ship here. That hasn't been hurt so badly. It's the transport, so it's got an engine rating of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll go like that.
Okie dokie.
Because I will have to spin round and charge for home. Right, so whenever I get to here, how do I get this to actually be searched?
So once you've got adjacent to a near space piece of debris, you can disembark anybody who's on board.
Well, I've got 6 crew members.
So you have 6 crew members, so you'd roll 6 dice.
Okay.
And you would require, and it changes depending on who happens to be in there.
It's just regular folks.
Regular folks.
Yeah.
i.e. less good folks.
Yes.
You require 5s for successes.
Okay. Let's see what I can do here. Yep. Oh, mama.
All the successes.
All the successes, which I believe completes number 2, or do I have to get it back to my ship?
No, you have to get it back to your ship.
All right, but I have gathered it up. I assume I'm then just running out, grabbing the loot, and running back in.
Yes.
Cool.
More or less. That's it.
Awesome.
So you've recovered whatever it is you found on board that asteroid.
Yep.
And then it's back to me. What do I want to do? I think I want to shoot that thing that's over there. Let me see. I need 2 hits from a cluster missile to damage your transport, or 3 hits out of 6 for the accelerator cannons. I feel like it's going to be cluster missiles.
All day long.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Now, there are arcs. Is it a front arc or a direct front arc?
Front arc.
Okay.
It's not dead ahead.
Okay, so anyone who's in the front arc is the front 3
Front
here.
3 moving outwards.
But if it's the direct front, it's just direct down the front line.
Dead ahead is just dead ahead.
Okay.
So, 4 more dice.
Yep. And
Hitting on 3s.
hit me one more time, yeah.
Oh, I do.
3
hits. Not enough for crit, because I
enough for
require
a
2,
point.
but enough for a point.
Bong.
And that's your turn.
I think what I kind of want to do now is I am going to go with my little dragon fighter here. So it's got an engine rating of 7. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and turn for 7. And then he's going to take a pop at you. So the dragon fighter has smart lasers or a focused laser. Now, the focus laser is dead ahead, so I can't hit you, but I can hit you with my smart lasers. So they're range 2, so 1, 2, you're definitely in. Volume of 5, so I will roll 5 of the finest dice. And then, let's see what we get. Yep. I think I've only landed the 1.
I think you hit on 4s.
I hit on 4s, so I only landed the 1. Impact 3. What is your armor?
Well, I get a chance to evade first.
Ah, okay.
So,
Do you even need to roll?
well, yes.
Okay.
Always roll. Oops.
On a 4?
No, I evade on a 5.
Okay.
So you've got impact 3, you say?
Impact 3.
The Cerberus fighter has an armor of 5, so they're heavily armored.
Yeah, so
bing,
bing, nothing.
No. But what was your crit?
2.
So the 1/6 wasn't good enough.
No, unfortunately.
Good.
I wasted it on the other things I was doing.
C'est la vie. I'm going to move out. 1, 2. Don't like your fighter. 3, 4. But I don't like this thing who
My
currently
transport.
is doing the mission more. So we're going to give him another blast of the old cluster missiles.
Come on then. Looking at 3s.
Get
Ooh,
3.
So there's definitely 1 in there.
Definitely 1. And our survey says no, need 2 for crit. So terrible shame. So 1 point of damage on him though. I'll take 1 point. Chip away at him.
Yeah, you've scratched the paintwork now.
Well, another turn he may not get back to home base, depending on how things plan out.
Yeah. For myself then, I'll activate this dragon fighter, who will go 1, 2, 3, 4, and he'll fire his focused laser on you.
Okay.
So the difference is the impact is better on this, and the critical is better on this. So it's still 5 dice, still hitting on 4s. Yep. And I missed a lot.
Oh, you're channeling your inner Gerry. I'm glad to see it.
I've burnt my dice out. They're just sitting there going, too many 6s.
So, my turn. So the arrow interceptor, he's nippy.
Yeah, I'm kind of worried about him. This is kind of why I was leaving this till the end, so I didn't maybe move into his range, but I might already be in his range.
He can move 10.
Oh, Okay, I'm definitely in his range.
So he's quite nippy. He has a range 5 rail gun on the front of that as well. So he only has dead ahead, but he's more than capable of getting into a position where he can use it.
Right.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hello, chum.
Really? Right on the nose? Wow.
Yeah, why not? Just get up there and then shoot you in the face.
I suppose it means that you're leaving me less room to maneuver.
Well, you can pass through, you just can't finish on another ship.
Ah, okay. That I didn't
Because
know.
ship space is 3-dimensional,
Vast, yes.
after all. Arrow Interceptor has got a volume of 2 only.
Ooh.
But if it hits, it's got an impact of 7.
Right. And what are you hitting on?
He only hits on 4s because he doesn't count as a fighter.
No, deny.
Not this turn.
That's fair enough.
If he does hit, he will go through most things. He crits on a 5, and he's just generally nasty all round when he hits.
Well, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate my transport here. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn.
Yes.
Go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 to there.
Okay.
And I believe, let me see if I've done this right or if I'm being dumb. F, W.
Forward arc.
So no, I've actually been dumb and moved myself so that I can't shoot. Damn it.
Were you attempting to laser me up?
I was hoping I had some form of little like side missile battery that could just go.
Transport. It's not a battle group. Transport. These are the battle groups.
Well, smart lasers it has. They're not so smart.
Well, they're smart, but the captain in this instance perhaps isn't.
Yes. That's Bob piloting that one. I
Well,
don't like Bob. That's why I sent him out there to die in the cold of space.
That is the end of the near space part. There is no face-to-face combat right now. There's no boarding actions and nobody attempting to duke it out on a satellite anywhere.
No.
So the next phase would be the rally phase.
Okay. So I automatically get to reload my Hellfires. And I think that's it.
That is it. And I've got nothing to do and all day to do it.
End of round 1.
End of round 1. Turn 2. Turn 2's there. So, Mr. Mann, was your priority?
Yeah.
Issue
So
orders.
it's my priority now? We don't roll again?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
All right. So it's my priority to issue orders. Everything's reloaded. Everything's looking really nice.
Don't forget your EXO and your...
Oh yeah, I've got them pulled off. I'm having a quick look through my special orders to see what's going to be really useful. So,
I'd better discard my brace for impact. It served me well.
Honestly, I'll possibly do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is one's going into the ordnance bay with the LT. One is going to go into launch, so I can launch the final ship that's in my thingy thing.
Okay.
And my XO is going to go into engineering, so I can maybe try and do a little repair work.
Okie dokie. So
Is that the best way to do it? No, it's actually not the best way to do it. So what I'll actually do is I'll use the repair from in here, which isn't in here for some reason. I definitely had a repair in here. That's odd.
cards say not.
The cards say not. Something strange has happened, because I should have had a repair in here, and I do not. But oh well, I'll do it this way. Fair enough. Right.
So roll for your EXO.
Okay, so EXO needs a 2-up. He does not.
No.
So no repair for me. I'm a lieutenant.
Well,
Does.
lieutenant doesn't need to pass one in this case, because you've put the captain in, so the
Okay.
captain will automatically do it
And then I just get his bonus?
with the lieutenant's bonus for the
Okay.
module you're in. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's all fine. I assume there's no deployment phase now that we're out of turn 1. Because having 2 extra torpedoes every round would be
no,
ridiculous.
the deployment is just the initial.
Yep. So that is my orders down. I am quite content.
Okie dokie. I will go for some of my own. I will go for a special order with El Capitan, telling some people to embark
Before
on
they all
transport.
die?
Oh no, I've got 4 crew left. I don't care whether or not they die. You mistake me. These people mean nothing to me. This ship is mostly automated. I just need one person to go on the transport to drag whatever's on off. That's it. And then I will throw a... Well, I... Do it that way round. Yeah. So we'll start with the lowest, because we know the captain will do it anyway. So the LT is going to attempt to launch a transport, which he will do. It will be accompanied with VAC troopers.
Of course, because they're your more efficient folks.
My XO will attempt to use the range batteries again on a 2-up.
He does.
He does also. And finally, my captain will fire torpedoes. And I will just go for there with the torpedoes. And they will go 2d6 straight forward. Our survey says 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Oof.
For a broadside incoming.
Yeah.
So,
hurt.
Orders issued.
Yeah.
Torpedoes launched.
Yeah. Right, so I will have to launch my own torpedoes.
Yes.
Which will be Hellfire again.
Okie dokie.
So 2d6 for me. Clear your nasty blue dice out the way. Roll my own. Oh, that's what I get for dissing
ones.
someone's dice. I'm only going 2.
Apparently.
I will go 2 from here.
Okay.
That was unfortunate.
Shame.
Yeah.
So, broadsides then.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
I have none.
You have none. I do.
Okay.
I have my range batteries again.
Fire at will.
At this point, I'm thinking,
On the bridge.
do I launch into your little fighter that's lurking around here and attempting to do the
It's
mission?
only got 3 hull left.
It does only have 3 hull left. But unless I get a crit, I can't do that with 2 ships.
But if you do it with your batteries,
If I do it with my batteries,
you've got a shot.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you get back in this turn?
Oh, I can, because all I have to do is turn and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5.
And 6 for the turn.
So I would have to do it with the batteries and then engage you in their side and win the priority and do it first.
And do it with a crit.
Yeah. Well, I forget the crit now. I don't need the crit then.
Yeah.
So I will attempt to fire the range batteries at your jumpy little fellow.
Okay, so you're looking at 6s.
I'm needing 6s, but I get to re-roll all of my dice.
So odds
my
are you
XO's in
should
there.
get 1.
We've heard that before. Oh,
Gets 2.
I get 2, and that is a crit.
Oh,
So
lovely for you. So I will take 2 more points of damage on that.
you will take 2 points of damage on that.
Uh-huh.
I don't even need to re-roll the other one. There's no point.
Yeah.
I feel much better now.
Yeah, I am feeling a little pain here.
That's good. Well done, EXO. You may not be spaced by the end of this mission. So
Okay. So that's all
I
the...
will launch my fighter in the broadside phase
I'll
as
launch
well.
my own, because I'm
Or my transport, rather.
thinking I might need a little extra help over here.
In fact, I'll just go straight down Main Street.
I will launch like so.
The bomber out there.
Yeah, I'll put
Okay.
the bomber out there, because I'm thinking if this goes down, this is my last hope.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. And
Priority then for near space.
priority for near space, yeah.
For me, a 2. For Gerry, a 1.
1. Frisky.
There is only one option in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
As it burns, as it's almost out of gas, it'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and be home.
Yes.
Docked. And I've completed part of the mission.
Okie dokie. I will fire my torpedoes into you, mind you. Going to go 5.
So I
which is
currently have
sufficient.
3 of the objectives completed.
Yes.
All I need to do is get a repair.
Yes. Be lucky. So 1, 2, 3. Explodo.
Explodo, yeah.
Heading on 3s.
Oof.
Oh, just the 1 there. Just the 1
But
there.
is 1 enough for a crit?
Yes, it's 20. Your armor's only 10.
Yeah, so...
Oh, sorry, a crit. I'm not sure if it's enough for a crit. Ordnance Bay, it is enough for crit, so that's worth 2.
Boom, boom. I've taken 3 damage.
Mm.
Okay. I'll have to do, of course, my own one. So it's 1d6 plus 4 for a total of 7.
Oh, yes.
So
I forgot
1,
you had
2,
people out
3,
there.
4, 5, 6,
Where
7.
are you? I've lost you completely. Oh, there you are.
So from here, going forward, because I launched out 2, which
Shame.
was piss poor. I need to have a word with the manufacturing facilities. Someone's not running enough overtime.
Clearly didn't flood the tubes.
Right, so it is my activation now, though. So what I want to do,
Well,
activate
no,
my bomber.
You just activated and flew them off.
Oh yes, and then we did both torpedoes. Apologies.
So it's me. Who wants it? You all want it.
Of course I do.
Don't know who's going to get it, but you all want it. I feel like shooting something down just to make myself feel better. So, I think I'm going to use the super fast and nippy fellow. Your bomber's not particularly quick, is it?
No, it's not bad. You know, it's got an engine rating of 7, so it can chase you a little bit. But if you just bugger off,
Yeah, if I just fly away,
yeah,
what are the chances?
it's a tactical option. Just run away.
What are the chances of that happening? Huh? Probably slim. I will. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No. If I go there, that will be 8 to there.
Also, I think I may have just realised something on the module cards. The SO might be standard operations.
Could be.
Because I'm looking at engineering going, well, how do I get to do a repair roll if I've only got an XO in there?
Because you can always do a repair roll.
Yeah. So that's why I'm thinking the SO is just standard operations.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've run away,
So,
like the coward you are.
I wouldn't say coward per se. Where was I?
You were pointed directly at this.
I was pointed directly at that. Oh yes, because you were there.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's better. Is that better?
Although, do you not only have...
No, I've only got dead ahead. I need to finish there.
Yeah, so you've used 8, I think.
Yeah, that's fine. Don't really need to drive away at all, to be brutally honest.
Yeah, you could just spin on spot.
Spin on the spot and fire. It's not going to make a huge difference, but it looks pretty. I will fire off 2 shots with my railgun,
Fire away.
which will both miss.
Yeah.
So that's quite good. I'm consistent, if nothing else.
Yeah. See, I was worried about that little guy, but because he's not an ace, he's not hitting.
Well, because I don't roll dice, he's not hitting.
Yeah.
Because he should hit 50% of the time,
Aye.
and I'm not getting any so
But
far.
the dice don't like you.
Yeah, well, we knew that. Who's
All
up
right.
for you then?
For myself, what could be entertaining here? Honestly, I think I want to try and go for a boarding action. So I think I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, following my torpedoes in.
Ooh,
So if we get another round, you know,
frisky.
we'll see how some boarding actions go.
See if we can repel borders.
Well, I'll maybe get to force you to eject your galley.
Only if you all get on board. Okay. Dull. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. 9, 10, 11, 12. So I can't reach you. Oh, I'll just go with. Well, no, I'm fairly certain he's going to be fine. Let's go with this guy. 1, 2, and then just give you all the barrels and more from my Cerberus. What's your armor?
On just my little dragon?
Yes.
It's just a 6.
It's just a 6.
Yeah. And he's got hull integrity of 3, so he's reasonably beefy. He can stand up to a shot.
He's got more armor than I would like him. He's going to get cluster missiles in the face.
Okay. Yeah, nobody likes cluster missiles in the face.
So 3s, 3 hits.
Okay.
12, which will be enough to do your point of damage. No criticules.
Oh, this is fine.
Very bad at rolling the crit.
Pop.
And then back to you.
Yeah. So, what could be entertaining? So I've got a move of 7. So if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, okay. What we're going to do is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And that should put me in range of your transport to do a little shooting.
Yeah, range 3.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to be using my focus laser, which is range 3, volume 5.
Okie doke.
And impact 4.
So 4s.
1. Only impact 4.
Impact 4 will not be enough for my armor,
That's okay.
which is a mighty 8.
This is fine. But it was worth swinging out and trying to just take a nip at you.
Well, why not? Why not shoot the president? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Papow. There'll be another dose of the cluster missiles.
Oh no.
Up your jacksie.
It's like that one time in Tijuana.
Could be, if you say so. 2 hits.
Okay. That's more than enough to do a point.
No crits though. Should have shot you out of the air. Rambunctious. Oh, you should have got your saves actually. Get
Oh yeah.
2 saves of 5 up for your evade.
For number 1, makes it. Number 2, does not. So 1 point less on that. That's fine. Thank you, Gerry. Very kind of you. Very sporting.
A very nice man in that respect.
Back to me then.
Who wants it?
I think my bomber wants to have a little dig at somebody. So he's going to swing 1, 2, and he's going to launch on you. So my options are, I have the smart lasers. Actually, he'd need to go one further forward, because what I'm actually going to be using is my KT-17 light payload, which is range of 2, payload or volume of 6, and impact 10.
Delightful.
Yeah, so
It's a big bomb.
it's a little bomb. It's only a little bomb. Let's see what I can do. I don't think that's going to do it. I need 4s to hit. I get 1 hit,
Get 1 hit.
and critical is 3, but it is impact 10.
It is impact 10, which will be more than enough to do a point of
points.
damage to my Portalaro. Myro only has a hull integrity of 2. So all you need to do is 1 hit with a crit or two hits into it and he'll fly out of the sky.
Yeah.
Potentially because he's so fast, nippy, and has got a great gun.
Yeah.
Although we've not seen that yet because my great gun doesn't want to hit.
Yeah.
Okay, I have 2 left.
Yes. I have 1 left.
So I think now you've moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I think that's doable. I could possibly reach you now.
Oh dear me.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Can't finish on that.
Yeah, if you had moved forward
I think
before
I'd
your
have
last
to, yeah.
rotation,
So that's 2,
3,
3,
and then 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
7, and 8. That works.
Yeah.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, just in range for the cluster missiles. The only thing worth coming around for, cluster missiles. Cluster missiles, she say 2.
Oosh.
2 evades.
So, let's roll into save.
5s. Oh, evade both. Look at you, you're like Starbuck or Ben and Bob's.
See, I'd always rather be
whatever it is.
Boomer.
All right, you're talking about that. I'm talking about coffee shops. That's close. Close, I say.
Yeah. Okay, so what I have left is my last dragon fighter, which is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just load into you.
And pew.
Pew pew. I believe it's 5 Ds hitting on 4s. Hey, that'll be 3.
Oh, I'm going to have to do a bit of evading here not to get face planted.
And I don't think you evaded for my bomber.
Yeah, I don't mind.
Yeah. Impact of 3.
Oh, I evaded 1.
So that's 9.
So 2.
2. I did 3.
That I evaded 1.
Okay, so 2 left.
Correct.
Okay,
you
so
see how it works
impact
now?
of 6.
So 6.
Yeah.
6 will be enough though to titty bread my poor little Olympus, or so my arrow. For he has not that enough. Blam! Explode.
Alas, poor spacecraft, we hardly knew you.
Well, he knew the risks.
Yes.
If he was better, he'd been a fighter hitting on 3s.
Yes, instead of a scout.
Yeah. They call them interceptors, like Harmony Angel, Destiny Angel. Oh, I should just call everybody after SIG members or Spectrum members. That would be amazing. Just go full Captain Scarlet on this game. Right. Okay. Choo-choo time then for my transport.
Yes.
Transport has a mighty 6.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello, don't mind me.
Just getting an objective, eh?
Yep. Bail all of those VAC troopers off that.
Yeah.
VAC troopers, they search like terrible people, I imagine.
I think they're on 4s.
No. VAC troopers are still 5s to search. They're great at combat. They're not particularly good at searching.
I see. I wonder if there's anyone or upgrades or anything in this game where you can actually get someone who's half decent at searching, who has a pair of eyeballs.
Yeah, you can send out your LT or your XO with them instead.
Oh, right.
But then you run the risk of them exploding.
And dying.
Yeah.
I see. And while they're out, I assume they can't do orders.
Yeah. So I will
Ooh, you got it.
find whatever it is and take
Find
it on
all
board.
the thingies.
All on board my delightful transport. That's the end of the near space. So rally phase.
Yep. I have a repair roll to make on a 4-up.
Have a repair roll. This for the game,
Yeah.
or at least
4-up.
for the trading mission.
Well. Yep. Oh, it's a 1.
You are terrible. You are just the worst. Just the worst.
Yeah.
So we will go to round 3. So turn 3 then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So orders.
Yes. Guess what I'm doing? All the repairs.
All the repairs.
All the repairs. Because that's the way to win this mission now for me.
I don't know if you can double up your XO and your lieutenant. I know you can definitely double up your captain.
Well, actually, yeah, you're right. Because
it's a rank.
whenever you do the XO, you generally get the lieutenants on top.
When you do the captain, you get the other officer's bonus on top of it, but you don't have to roll.
Yeah. In fact...
All you really need to do is put the captain in. Because the captain...
Actually,
Yeah.
I may have a way to win this now. Because with the XO getting the lieutenants, I would have had a reroll.
Oh, right. Yes.
So...
Oh, because he gets it and you didn't read the
I didn't read the card right. So this for the game.
So this would be the end of turn 2.
Denied.
Another one.
Double denied.
Apparently we are going to turn
All right.
3.
Hell with
regardless.
that. I am going to put another one into the ordnance bay because that would have reloaded, and it makes me happy to see things on fire. So that's my orders down. Yours?
I will get ready to repel borders.
Oh, I had a feeling that was coming.
Because why not? And then I will send the LT and the captain to the ordnance bay to get ready to open up some bombardment. And get the ranged batteries ready as well with the XO, because that's done superbly well for me so far.
Yeah. Right. So fire space.
Mm.
I will be dropping another Hellfire, so 2d6.
Mm-hmm.
See how far it's going. For a mighty 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Cannot stop on that.
Can't stop on it.
So I assume I would have to stop before it.
Assuming you don't explode.
Assuming I don't. But space is big.
Space is big, so yes. Okie dokie.
Uh-huh.
I'll give you a barrel of my own.
Uh-huh.
By Jiminy Cricket.
Roll your 2d6. See how far they're going. Oh my, 7.
Also 7.
Yeah, so you're only sitting 1 short.
There's a lot of that going about these days.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
6,
7.
7.
Oh.
So I would have been on top of you here, which is why that happened. Oh well.
Delightful.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah. I'm sure there's probably something we've got wrong here, but we're having fun.
No, I think it's mostly right.
Yeah. Okay, so moving into near space.
No.
Oh yeah, you've still got your other battery.
I've still got my battery to go.
Damn it, I thought I
Mr.
forget.
Man. Oh, you little minx. So, who wants it? Clearly, you all want it.
Yeah. Well, you could
I will just
have a punt at the big end.
wing it into your big ship, because why not? Hitting on 5s.
Yeah.
Unless, could I blow one out of the water? What's your...
Oh, on those 3. So if you get a crit,
So
you've
if I've got
got
a crit, it would go away.
yeah.
Nah, I'm just going to fire into your big ship.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. 5s.
Gets 1.
One
Roll
hit.
the other 2. Oh, 2.
2, I say.
No crit, but bong point of damage.
Yes.
That's the 4th point for you for damage.
Correctamundo. Correctamundo.
Radio.
So that's all of my broadsidery done.
Uh-huh.
So it is near side.
So for me, 4.
Priority 1. I'm never getting priority in this game, apparently.
Right. Well, first things first.
Yes.
We actually wait now. Got to do the torpedoes first.
Torpedoes first.
So that rolls and lands into you,
Yes.
and then it's 4.
Do you want to roll for your other as well?
Oh yeah. It goes 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just short. Plus 4, yeah.
Plus 4.
Yeah. So that's 2 in.
So 2 in.
So for the first one, it's landing on 4s. So there's 2 and 1 for a crit. So take 2 points of damage
2 points of damage.
and kill D3 crew
2.
for 2 crew.
Killing 2 crew. That's alright, I don't really mind.
Second one just lands the 1.
Just the 1, dear.
Yeah, just the 1, my dear.
Although that is sufficient. In the rally step, if I don't repair that away,
Yeah, you got a boogie.
I would bug out, although I think it will make a difference in this little training scenario anyway.
So I'll take these back out the way.
And I'll throw my torpedo in.
How far is it going? 4,
8.
4, 8. Whee!
And he too will
Have a swing.
hitting you on 4s.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and a
that's
crit.
So that's boom boom, 2 points damage. But I don't. Actually, it's deadly on a 5 up.
Yeah, that just
So what does deadly do?
deadly is my criticals go from a 6 to a 5.
Oh, okay.
So
There's the downside of the Hellfires.
yes, you'll injure more crew, but you'll do less crits.
Well, not the way I roll.
Well, yeah.
All right, so we boarding.
Okay.
So how do we do boarding?
So there is a little table. So I place my available crew and embark forces in the counter boarding zone in preparation for the enemy attack. I only have 2 crew left because you killed the rest.
Yeah,
Whatever's on board your ship, though.
6 vac troopers.
Okay. And it goes to a face-to-face. So this is the sort of thing we haven't really done yet.
I'll put them right here.
So once the transport is in the enemy deployment zone, roll a d8 and compare it with the modules on the player's board, and that tells you which one they're actually being engaged in.
I see.
And this is if you want to start doing things like spacing modules that contain tiny vac troopers.
Yeah. So we'll do it on a d4.
It won't really make a difference here because I won't be vacuing you and I'll be facing you anyway.
So I go into 5.
So you're somewhere in the ordnance. You're down in the torpedoes.
Yeah. So pop me into your torpedoes.
I can deploy as many units available for counterboarding action as I have available, which is only 2 these days. Everybody else.
And your captain and your LTs there.
Yeah, but they're
not
involved in this. Should multiple boarding transporters arrive, roll a d8 for each one and resolve each face-to-face individually.
Okay.
So you're in there, you're vac troopers, you have 6 dice, 1 for each trooper, and you roll your combat hitting on 5s.
Okay.
I'll be rolling on 6s with 2 dice.
Okay, so for 5s, there's 2 dead.
2.
Do they get a save?
Let me just double check. I don't believe I do. I think they're just dead.
Okay. Now, I'll assume I can't take command of Gerry's ship because there's probably control codes and stuff.
No, you can't.
And we probably look at that ship and go, "Oh, that's a hunk of junk. Why would we want that? Let's turn it into a garbage sky, maybe?" Now, I assume, does combat happen simultaneously?
Combat's all simultaneous.
Okay.
If you had brought sergeants or majors with you in the form of your LT or XO, you would get rerolls for your dice. But 6s, please. 5s is not 6s. Denied indeed. So in this case, I'm just going to get clobbered. And you will kill my remaining crew. I've already thrown them away. I have.
No, you haven't. They're sitting in the room.
There.
You can leave the dead body to lie in there if you want.
Almost like I knew what was happening.
You know, Deckard to Gerry.
If the defending player is reduced to 0 available units, and I am, then the enemy are unopposed and the fleet carrier is vulnerable to internal damage. Ooh. So you can start running amok in subsequent turns and doing things like setting fires and disrupting my internal workings.
Excellent.
But currently you're docked there and they're attempting to sabotage my ordnance base.
Yes.
Harsh.
We don't like torpedoes.
You know, nobody likes torpedoes. So, me, I suppose.
If you want to take a little bit of revenge.
Always want to take revenge. Don't know if there's any revenge to be taken. I have 1 fighter, 1 transport left. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can actually just spin him on the spot.
Yep, after having found all the things and coming back.
Go to there.
And that puts you back into your hangar.
And I'm back into my hangar. So that's that completed.
Yeah.
And then back to yourself.
Yeah, so I think I will go with this fighter here. He's going to go 1, 2,
yes,
3, 4, 5, 6, and 7.
Okay,
That's all he's going to do.
Not get close enough to shoot me in the bottom?
No.
Shame.
Well, 1, 2, 1, 2. No, I think it's only 2 on that. Yeah, it's only 2 on that for range. It's the direct one that has 3.
I think that leaves me with this fighter, and that's it then.
Okay.
So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Close enough for cluster missiles up the backside.
Yep.
As is my want in life.
Moral victory, Gerry. Moral victory.
For the final clusterings. Cluster. 2 hits.
Okay, so that's a point.
It's a point.
If I don't make 5s.
Oh, you make them both.
See, the game is just going to sit there and go, no, your spaceship aren't going to die, but you can't repair your ship. Not going to let that happen. Your engineer is crap. He's like just in a corner asleep.
So, that's all I have for near side. Near space.
I think that's
I'm going to be happy enough not to do anything more and just go for the roll to repair.
Okie dokie. So rally phase then?
Yep, so I've got 3 rolls, because I've got 3 orders in there.
Yes.
And I've got 2 rerolls.
Okay.
Looking at force. Yes.
2 points repaired, no less. Yeah.
So it's 4 total repaired.
4 total.
So 1, 2, 3, 4. Hey! Looking far more healthy. I think somebody poked him with a stick.
And that would be the end of it. I've suffered 7, so I actually withdraw, which means your vac troopers are going to be murdered in deep space as I just shuttle them out once I get people around there to deal with them.
Well, you don't exactly have any crew left. So on your way home, this is the beginning of a horrible Sigourney Weaver movie where these guys are just in the vents, Bruce Willis style, tearing up your ship and making things go wrong all the way home.
Most of your stuff is automated. Your crew, and you can expand the crew, and your vac troopers, and they can be expanded as well. They're just the bodies you have available to go onto transports and do the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Once I start flying away, they're dead in space. If needs be, I will just vac the chamber.
You just vac the rest of your crew.
Yeah, it's fine. That's what they're there for. So that is Deadflight Ghosts in the Void.
Yeah.
That is the very basic training mission. Obviously, when you start to play the bigger games, you can do a lot more upgrades and tailoring to your forces.
Yeah, the main mechanics of this game are some of the best ones because they're easy to learn and difficult to master. As soon as you start diving into putting like 4 different upgrades on, 8 modules in here, loading out different ships, playing with getting more vac troops, more regular troops, all of the extra little bits, you can go really deep on this game. That and the quality of what we're seeing here is really nice.
Oh, it's beautiful. The 3D prints are particularly nice. There's a campaign book planned if they get there, and I hope they do.
Yeah.
Because the idea that at the end of this, my fleet would then pull back to the fleet carrier, and the fleet carrier would book out, and then potentially next turn or next time round I wouldn't have certain things available because of what had happened. Is really interesting.
Because you've had to eject your ordnance bay because it was filled with vac troopers and you just couldn't ship them,
or totaled or on fire.
One other thing I like about it is the 3-piece neoprene game mat. Now, I'm not sure if that's final product that you'd have the 3-piece neoprene, but I quite like it. This
is what they've had set up in the Kickstarter, although the actual layout is slightly different from the original design that they have in the Kickstarter video. So I imagine this will be more or less what you're looking for.
Well, I like it, and I recommend everybody go check out the Kickstarter.
Yeah, it's a lovely little game. The spaceship combat is delightfully simple when you're out there just doing donuts, and you don't have to worry about a fighter being shot out of the sky on turn 1.
Yeah, one-shot kills.
There's no one-shot kills unless it is something particularly weedy like an interceptor where they have no armor and have no hull integrity really. But that's the payoff for being so fast and with such a good gun, allegedly. I'd never say.
If I was making one tweak, I would slow the torpedoes down a bit so that you have a chance to maybe intercept. Because the torpedoes in this felt really quick. It was just like, boom, we're out there. So maybe start it with they move out D6 to start, and then they go D6 plus 2. That's the only change I would make personally.
I'm not sure how much more rule testing and play testing that they have planned, so it may be that things like that are on the cards anyway.
Possibly,
Or it may be that Hellfires are just spectacular.
Honestly, just the only thing they have that's super special compared to the Breacher torpedo is instead of being deadly, which is the 5-up crit, they've got the Inferno, which is just murdering crew.
Although that helped quite a bit.
It did, because if you'd had the rest of your crew complements sitting back there...
if there was another 10 crew in there just ready to punch you in the face.
That would have been a bit more of a struggle.
So, there you go, folks. Let us know what you think of Deadflight, Ghost in the Void. I think it's definitely worth checking out. It just really appeals to me, even though everybody died.
We hope you enjoyed this Let's Play. Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.